hardened up at that moment, we kicked some ass, and we got to live.
Oh, he hunted one is.
Oh my gosh, no.
I'm so sorry I tab targeted. Gargoyle or Banshee?
Welcome back to Generous. I finally crawled out of my content hibernation because it's been a hot minute. And honestly, I've just been struggling to find the inspiration to actually create anything. Since New World was, let's not sugarcoat this, absolutely destroyed and lambasted by AGS. So RIP to that dream. But since WoW released fresh hardcore servers, I just thought that's the kind of chaos I can get behind, since I enjoyed them so much before. And I thought, you know what, if I'm gonna dive into this, I might as well make a bit of content on the side to stop myself from getting a little bit rusty. So I may as well film myself getting smacked around by some low-level mobs in a 20-year-old game. And the truth is, I just want to get back into the game, into any game, but nothing's really sparking that fire as such. And let's be honest, I refuse to pump out any of that fake, overproduced, soul-sucking bullshit that a lot of content creators tend to whip out right now, that has the emotional depth and character capacity of a soggy biscuit. So, no thank you. So here we are, starting fresh, just an orc rogue, gonna vibe out and go full solo self-found. And I'm about as prepared as a bloke turning up to a gunfight with a toothpick. So here we are. If you're looking for flawless gameplay, I may disappoint you. If you're here for some relatively stupid, fun little bit of commentary, then stick around. Who knows? I might even make it to level 60 before I absolutely fuck it. Speaking of fucking up, how many of you guys hop along here, forget to pick up this quest item that you need for this, only to run all the way up the mountain to try and deliver the quest, to realise that you didn't actually pick it up? All the way back down. Let's go grab it all over again. But it's all good, because we're out of Durasar now, a place that has the complexion of your average British teenage girl, and now we're into the Barrens, a place where we can turn off our UI, relax, and pretend we're fresh out of a scene gladiator. Does anyone else have just an incurable habit of spamming the spacebar, running along? Doesn't matter in what game I'm playing, if it's WoW, if it's anything else, I'm just like spamming away. It's some sort of disease, it's just pure muscle memory. Why run? You can jump. That's a profound quote right there, you can call me Gandhi. Next video will be like, WoW Classic Hardcore Movement Guide. As promised, I just wrapped up farming some questionable horse meat for the local French butcher. I was immediately approached by a rather unfriendly looking. Now this wasn't your run-of-the-mill scavenger, oh no. This guy came straight up to me like he was a fucking tax man. And he wasn't just taxing my wallet, this man was taxing my life. Naturally, of course, like the strong orc I am, I refuse. Zug zug. However, like mentioned, he did proceed to absolutely clobber my arsehole. Of course, being the supremely overconfident rogue that I am, I decided I didn't even need to pop evasion. No quarter given, no caution exercise, just a raw, unfiltered ego. You know what? Unlike the ego that just flashed up on your screen, I stood my ground, and I got the job done.
Health warning.
And we hardened up at that moment, we kicked some ass, and we got to live.
Now, to tell you the truth, this isn't the first time that I've been touching cloth on this run. Before I even thought about hitting record, I had a wee sketchy moment. Really made me think that I should be recording, and actually got me round to slapping that record button eventually. And before you go ahead and guess, it wasn't Gazers, the overlord of Skull Rock and the endgame boss for 90% of Horde adventures. Oh no, this was none other than the Goblin Menace himself, Fizzle.
Oh baby, you know how to turn my gears. Ever rode a rocket before? Mine's huge.
So here's the setup. I was venturing down to routinely and precisely take out the little sod, as I've done countless times before, without even breaking a sweat. But when I got to his lair area, I stumbled upon two fellow adventurers asking for my help to take him out. Now, as a solo self-found player, I stick to my rules like glue, but I'm not about to cuck myself or reef someone else's experience, so unless I've got a reason not to help them out in a group with a quest mob, I always tend to. So I joined the party thinking, what could possibly go wrong? There's 3 of us, this will be easy. Turns out, fucking everything. So these 2 Muppets went in and pulled the entire lair. Orcs, demons, you name it, we had it on us. Just to top it off, they even went out back and tagged in the Thunder Lizards lurking outside. So before I know it, we had an 8 mob fiesta on our hands. If I was getting out of this, I was going to probably look rougher than Bonnie Blue's bits after a 1,000 mob tag adventure. And this, my friends, is why you don't see my faintly glowing skull on my bars anymore. Had to clutch up with that, bit of evasion, and a bit of the sticky glue, and running around the big rock behind it. And we dragged those 2 muckers to glory as well. Proper miracle if you ask me. As for Gazers, you ask? Piece of cake. You cheese him in the water. And if I ever bite the dust on this run, then maybe in a future video I can show you my dirty, moist little secret. That's a bit weird. Anyway, speaking of not cucking other people's gaming experiences, here we got invited to another group for another quest boss, the Centaur, and of course I obliged him. But as soon as I got invited, I started popping my pills, I started getting the buffs, and before you know it, I was bigger than Chris Bumstead, ready to flex on this bitch. Only to be not let in on any of the action. Now I feel like I'm at the back with Bonnie's queue. So dotted around the world there's a few vendors, and there's one in Crossroads that sells some special green items, and I always pick this up as a rogue, the old feral blade. It's kind of giga, but looks kind of pathetic. Reminds me of Needle from Game of Thrones, Arya Stark's sword.
You can't use that, my lady, it's too small.
Used to hearing that from my wife. Anyway, before diving into a Ragefire Chasm endeavour, it would be a smart idea to run up the mountain and hand in the old stone quest that we went to start. And you weren't gonna guess what I'd done. Unbelievable!
No darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Because a vision.
So, I'm finally in Ragefire Chasm. And let me tell you, it's definitely firing up my rage. I swear this character must be cursed or something, because all I'm seeing is misses, dodges, and parries left, right, and fucking centre. Honestly, my orc rogue is like negative luck baked into his DNA, because he's just totally Zogzug. Don't even get me started on looting this run. The whole reason I even came with Ragefire, besides, of course, the XP, is for the rather snazzy loot. Because we've got a pretty sexy looking sword, and of course a rather suave dagger. But naturally, neither of them dropped. Oh no, instead it turned into a Clothy's fucking paradise down. More gear was flying their way than your average Friday night for a tradie. It's absurd. Meanwhile, I'm stood here, empty-handed, looking like a mug, wondering what I did to Blizz to deserve this. I've got to say, the amount of loot these Clothies get was almost impressive. But for Ragefire as a casino, they're for sure walking out millionaires, and I'm out here in my fucking whitey tighties, just begging for some fucking scraps. I didn't get a single green throughout that run, This just reminds me that the real fucking boss of classic WoW will always be RNG. That's a wrap for this one. Thanks for sticking around. If you have enjoyed me stumble and yap my way through the first video in 5 months, well, make sure to leave a like and drop a comment. Potentially even share it. Share it with your favorite React streamers. Yeah. So it genuinely helps me decide if I should keep this series going. And if it starts to get some love, I'll definitely be back with more episodes. And hey, who knows, maybe I'll even make it past level 20 or something. Another exciting news as well, I will be streaming on Twitch starting very shortly. And you can follow me over there at Artful Doge with a Z on the end, so Artful Doges. So you can come and watch the chaotic British yapping fold live. Roast me, just hang out vibes, it's all good. And one last thing as well, I've got a little question, a little bit of feedback, if you will. So in my previous videos I've used an AI voice, and this is my first time using my real voice. Let me know what you prefer. Obviously I don't have the best microphone setup in the world, so my audio is probably trash. However, in the future that can be improved upon. Till next time, degenerates.